Coming up, Lightbridge is moving closer to commercializing its nuclear fuel. We speak to the company's CEO, Seth Grae, next. This is Bloomberg Open Interest. As data centers require more of the world's energy, nuclear is coming to the forefront. Lightbridge has entered the state of producing and testing its nuclear fuel at the Idaho National Laboratory. The company moving closer to commercializing the fuel. Joining us now is Seth Grae, Lightbridge President and CEO. So when can we look forward to commercial nuclear fuel, Seth? Will it be in this generation?
Oh, absolutely. It will be in this generation. We're very confident about that. Everything at Lightbridge is moving forward actually now more quickly than we had expected. This is because of actions of the Congress, the administration, and the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to try to speed up advanced nuclear technologies. So as you mentioned, we've actually been producing samples that are in testing now at the world's most powerful test reactor at Idaho National Laboratory that belongs to the U.S. Department of Energy. So this is moving ahead actually a little quicker than the timelines we even had internally.
So take us behind the scenes. I've driven through Craters of the Moon in Idaho and seen that facility, or what you can from the road. I know that it's immense, and you mentioned the power of that reactor, that ATR. What have you done, and what results are you waiting for here to kind of ascertain the progress you've made?
Yeah, when you say that site is immense, that part of the site is 980 square miles where they have these reactors. So it is enormous. And what we are doing is testing what's called thermophysical properties of the fuel. We have actually removed some of the samples from the reactor on schedule. Others are still in there. And in the fall and into a bit later this year, we'll have very significant results from that testing. But so far, from visual examinations, from early looks, it looks very promising. And this is really the only truly new nuclear fuel out there, and it can even work in the existing reactors.
Seth, how are you doing for cash? You have plenty of it, no debt, but is there a path to continued revenue? Because I imagine this kind of testing burns a lot of cash.
Well, we have over $230 million of cash, no debt. That's more than a couple of years of cash for what we need to do. We're advised by major utilities that are helping us keep on the track toward commercialization. So we are actually in the strongest cash position the company's ever been in our history.
I'm curious sort of how U.S. domestic policy is shaping the trajectory of your company. So we've heard from the president in recent weeks talking about the potential of nuclear energy, embracing it once again in a way that we haven't heard from politicians and policymakers for a long time here. How is it animating your business? And looking more broadly here, do you see the market as principally in the U.S., or is it going to be a global market for this kind of technology?
Right. So the administration's help for Lightbridge and really for everyone in the nuclear power sector has been very meaningful. In May of last year, the president signed 4 executive orders. In terms of Lightbridge, one of the most meaningful ones has a call for increasing the power output of existing reactors, and that is something that Lightbridge Fuel can do better than anything else. We expect the Lightbridge Fuel will bring tremendous increase in power output from the existing reactors as well as new ones, reducing the cost of the power. And this is very important for American energy dominance at home, getting more power sooner by getting it from existing reactors before even having to build the new ones, but also for exports from the U.S. And export markets collectively will be even larger than the U.S. market. So the administration's effort specifically is called Uprise, for new power from existing reactors on top of their original power. And we think Lightbridge will end up being the greatest contributor to that effort.
Sticking on the theme, Trump Media and Technology acquiring Tay Technologies. Seth, it's working on nuclear fusion, but does it portend anything in terms of the administration wanting to take investments in particular companies? Have you been approached? Would you be open to that if it were to come to it?
We've not been approached for investment by the administration. We have been approached for support by the administration and by its Idaho National Laboratory, and we're working on some programs in that area. But in particular, having use of the world's most powerful test reactor and the other facilities and personnel at Idaho National Laboratory working with our teams is just a tremendous boost from the federal government.
All right, Seth, thank you so much for joining us today in Las Vegas at an energy conference. That is Seth Grae of Lightbridge.